Greetings, my name's Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti. Welcome to the show. It's Whoop Wednesday. It's Cine-Whoop Wednesday. That's how the one percenters live, right there. That's what a $5 million house looks like. That's the main floor. There's a basement that's just insane, and there's a upstairs. I don't know what words for houses. That's just as insane. In the basement, there's a hidden. There's a bookshelf. We walked there's something around the house when I get there. We walked in on the basement, and I'm like, that bookshelf looks like a fucking secret door. If I was a secret door, I'd be in that bookshelf. And we're walking around, upstairs, downstairs. And we go back downstairs. I was like, and I said to the person giving me the tour, I was like, hey, that bookcase would be a good secret door. And they're like, it opens up, and there's a speakeasy back there. Like, what? Yeah, just insane. Right on a golf course, and in a neighborhood where that's not even like the biggest house. Like, there were like other houses in the neighborhood that like made that one pale in. I mean, that house was pretty ridiculous, but there were some other houses that were even bigger, even crazier. I don't know. Hopefully you know, because I don't know. So yeah, that's why I just walked in the door. I just had enough time to pull the batteries out of my bag, put the cell checker on them, and then put a bunch of them on the parallel board on storage charge that were down below 3.8, and then the ones that didn't get flown are on Vi-Fly dischargers. Double battery lead saved me, yo. Not saved me. I mean, I could have used the adapter, but it came in super handy. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I am now building most of my the rigs that I have that will work with that it would make some sense to run on an XT30. I'm doing double battery leads now. One XT60 and one XT30. This allows me to use either, I have a bunch of 4S 850s that are XT30. And then I have one 4S 850 and a whole bunch of 4S 1050s that are XT60. And so I can plug either one in without having to deal with a little stupid adapter piece. The real reason that I'm doing this, though, is that this is a live broadcast trick. If you have a battery which is at storage voltage, you plug a fresh battery in, DJI powers up, the quad powers up, but mainly DJI powers up, and it takes 30 seconds or so to connect to the goggles, right? When you come in and land at like 3.6 per cell, you plug that storage voltage battery in here, you unplug your dead battery here, the storage voltage battery keeps keeps DJI powered up. You take your fully charged battery, you plug it in here, and then you unplug the storage voltage battery real quick. The storage voltage battery gets dragged down a little bit by the dead battery, and then it gets boosted up a little bit by the XT60 battery, and so it'll stay at storage voltage as you do that all day long. It seems a little abusive to the batteries, and I'm sure that it is, but a bunch of the really well-paid live broadcast guys have been doing this for a little while and having really good luck with it. So, yeah, I'm stealing their idea. And I just had a very sad moment where I realized that one of my favorite socks, I just punched a hole in it. That's sad. This is one of my favorite little Argyle socks. I can't wear socks that have holes in the front. It drives me absolutely insane. That sucks, man. And these are just like super random socks, so I'll never find them again. Ah, this one's got holes in it too. Shit. Ah, well. Such is life. So yeah, that was the gig that I was just at. First time ever flying a split of GoPro vertical and GoPro horizontal, which was outrageously difficult because you have to fly everything twice. And so not only did I fly everything twice from landscape versus vertical, I am ND filtering for the exteriors and then no ND filter for the interiors, other than what you just saw. We've got, there's a 10-minute span at sunset in Blue Hour where the outside light matches the inside light. And that's what you just saw, actually, is the end of, is from the end of that 10 minutes. Actually, it's about 15 minutes in. That footage might not get used. That was just like, I had an extra battery. I said, what the hell? Let's see if, and that was a little bit of a freestyle kind of flight. The previous dozen or so batteries, I'd flown a pretty kind of predetermined, walked, rehearsed kind of route. That was a little bit of just kind of trying to get him some B-roll, basically. And I'm glad that I did, because that little that jaw spin out the front door and then fly backwards through the front lawn is one of the coolest things that I've ever flown. Unfortunately, it's really dark, like really, really, really dark. But it might work in like a real, not a real, I don't know. Imagine I said a word now that made sense. And so, yeah, there's, when the exterior light levels match the interior light levels, it doesn't look nearly as cool as that. It's not as blue as that. And you put a battery up in the air, you fly for 3 or 4 minutes, 3 or 4 or 5 minutes, and then you put another battery up in the air, and it's significantly darker. You fly for 3 or 4 or 5 minutes, and then it looks like that. And it's unbelievable. Like, there really is just this little tiny 10-minute bracket. And I nailed that. I didn't play that. I might play it in a bit, but I nailed that. They wanted to do we don't usually do one-shots, but they wanted a oneer. And so we did that, and I got it. I think I got it on the first hit. I did it once, and then I had a little bit of battery left, so I did a little bit of freestyle to try to get some B-roll. And so I got everything. I think I got everything they wanted. The shooting vertical, shooting horizontal, and then the during the day, so get there at about 4 o'clock, start walking it, start talking, start figuring it out, start flying it around 5:30. And I flew nonstop from 5:30 until basically 9 o'clock. And, well, I didn't fly nonstop. I had to change the GoPro mount over and over and over again to go from horizontal to vertical to horizontal to vertical. I did it in a way that I would have to change it as infrequently as possible, but I still had to change it a bunch. When you're flying in the middle of the day, you either give the GoPro a big ass ISO range and or shutter speed range. I really don't like to let it change shutter speed though. So I usually have the shutter speed locked at 1/120th, 60 frames a second, and then if we want to do it without using ND filters, basically we just have to bracket the ISO from 100 to either 800 or 1600 and let the GoPro move the exposure around. The problem with that is every single time that you're inside the house where it's darker and you point towards a big window that's bright as hell from the outside, it pulls the exposure down, and so the inside of the house disappears, and it tries to expose for the outside. And then as you're yawing around, that window goes out of frame, and now it's just the inside of the house, and then it brightens back up. And so for the editor, it's a total pain in the ass. And so what we're doing now, what I've always kind of preferred to do, is fly it once with an ND filter, fly the exteriors with an ND filter. What I prefer to do is the whole path with the ND filter on. When I go into the house with an ND8 or an ND16, it's pretty black, but as I fly around the house, the windows are properly exposed. So a really talented editor can mask those windows into the interior, into the other footage that I fly for the interiors without the ND filter. What we did today was I just flew all the exteriors and all the approaches, where basically fly into the from the exterior into the front door and then bail after I get a couple feet into the front door. And we're going to try that. The editor's going to try that this time and see how it works. What I didn't realize is I would also have to fly all of the leaving the house shots, and flying from 5:30 until 8 o'clock, the sun drops down quite a bit. And so I'm really worried that there's going to be a continuity issue. This is what I was told to do, though. So, like, they're not going to get mad at me, but, like, I think there's going to be some situations where, especially, what made it even worse is that I had to fly everything twice because I had to do it vertically and landscape. And so that doubles the amount of time, and then that doubles the amount of time that the sun is dropping, right? And the shadows are moving around, and the sun's peeking into and out of clouds. And so, yeah, we'll see. I'm very interested to see, to get feedback from the editor on this one to see if this worked. But we tried it. We did everything we could. Yeah, super challenging. I'm so tired. Like, my brain is so tired from having to work all this out, and then having to figure out, like, okay, this is where I exit. So they want to do the oneer, the one take all the way through, and then they're going to do individual edits for each floor. So an edit for the top floor, edit for the middle floor, edit for the basement. And they want those to be different. They want the entrances to the house to be different and the exits to the from the house to be different. And so I had to figure out 4 different ways of getting into the house, and then 4 different ways of getting out of the house. And I had to fly all those with the ND filter on, both horizontally and vertically, and then fly all the interiors horizontally and vertically. And then the main floor, I had to do 2 different interiors because the oneer is one path, and then the just middle floor ground floor fly through is a different it's a different path. And yeah, it was super challenging. It was super challenging to get all that straight in my head. So it's like, okay, on this approach, this is where we go into the main floor for the winner. On this approach, this is the main floor for just the main floor edit. For this exit, this is the main floor exit from the path that I flew for this. This is the main floor exit from the path that I flew for that. And then do it all again, right? Vertically versus horizontally. So yeah, it was very difficult, very difficult, very mind bending. But I've gotten pretty good at doing these in one take, and that really saved me, because I was able to get, I think at one point I got the entire upstairs floor fly through, the entire basement fly through, and one other little chunk on the same battery. I did it first try upstairs, first try downstairs. So yeah, I got a little bit lucky on that. I did have extra batteries, but I didn't have any extra time. I flew the whole time. Like I actually, there was an approach that I was going to do down the side of the house, over the pool, through the fire, for the basement fly through. And as I was doing all of this, keeping an eye on the time, I said, hey, I'm going to have to bail on that approach. I'm just not going to have time. It's just not going to happen. And thank God I did, because if I had spent the extra time to do that vertical horizontal, I would have had to not do something else, because we literally flew that. I literally flew that entire time. That's the batteries hitting storage voltage. Hang on. All right. Awesome. 6 batteries at storage voltage, 4 more on the dischargers. A couple of them were at like 3.75 per cell, so I'll just leave those. That's close enough. And then I think there's only one more battery that needs to get discharged. It was a lot, man. Holy Christ, it was a lot. What was really cool is that the editor was there, Deanna, and she's super cool. And so we got to have some really good conversations about like logistics and like, you know, how she wants to edit it, and like that'll help us a ton moving forward. She's been the editor for this is the 3rd time I've worked with Force Media / Alpha Fine Homes, and she's been the editor on all of them, and we're really developing a rapport and like figuring out how to do this as efficiently as possible. This is probably the biggest home that we'll fly, so this was like a perfect storm of like, you know, doing everything doubled, horizontal, vertical, and then just wanting to get a lot of coverage of this, wanting, like, planning the routes out so that they would really hit like the highlights that the homeowner and their team were kind of looking for. It took a long time. I cannot believe how much time. Usually at these gigs, there's a point where I'm done flying the daytime footage, and I can take like a half an hour, drink some water, relax, get some food, check gear. I did eat a burrito this time, but I like threw a burrito while I was changing GoPro mounts. I was full tilt the entire time. So that was a bit sort of obnoxious, but made it happen. It's all good. I was there long enough where I'll get day rate, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, good day. Hard work. But good day. Gear all held up. Brick really eats RF. Holy crap. I had to really pick and choose where I was standing to fly from for the exteriors. At one point I was standing behind basically 2 layers of brick, essentially. And I flew across the front lawn and across the street. And a DJI on a gigawatt almost blacked out. It was like fully frozen as I kind of turned around, and then it came back. I was like, whoa. I've only really flown around Brick one other time, and I don't remember it being nearly this bad, but that was wild. I was planning for it. It was the very first battery. I was like, okay, let me stand right here in this kind of sketchy spot and see what happens. And I got over there, and it's like, whoa. So that was wild. But yeah, good gig. Really good gig. I think I got everything. Hopefully. It was a lot to think about. It was a lot to... we had a shot list, and I had it all mapped out and whatnot. But yeah, the complexity of ND filter on, ND filter off, vertical, horizontal, whew, that's rough. What we're going to try to do moving forward is they're going to tell me, hey, this is what we want horizontal, and then this is what we want vertical. The reason why is the vertical stuff is for their Instagram page, the horizontal stuff is for their YouTube page. And what killed us this time is they basically said, like, just fly everything doubled. Fly everything in both vertical and horizontal. But they also said, like, we don't want the same... we don't want the exact same path for everything. But they didn't necessarily know which path they wanted filmed vertically, which path they wanted filmed horizontally. And so we realized, like, next time, like, we're going to pick. There's going to be one path that I fly horizontal. There's going to be another path that I fly vertical. And so, horizontal mount on the thing, fly that specific path, boom. Put the vertical mount on, fly that different path, away we go. Versus doing every single path over and over and over and over again with both, not over and over and over again, but over and over again, right? So that it doesn't double it up, so that it's just, and so that'll cut it down by not quite 50%, but near 50%. But this will be great. This will actually be really good for the editor to get to see what works vertical and what works horizontal, right? Like the vertical field of view is not as good when you yaw. So, and we had a big conversation about that. And so she's going to really like dial in on that, and she'll get to see, like, look, the path for when we're filming vertical needs to be as straight lines as we can. None of this like fly into a room and turn around nonsense. Like, that's going to look terrible vertical. And so everybody will kind of now understand, cool, the route with the least possible yaw, the least possible turning, that's the route for vertical. And then the route with a lot of turning and a lot of yawing, that's what's going to be horizontal. So that'll be really cool. I'd not necessarily really thought about that. So like we were all learning. So this was awesome, man. It was really cool to have the editor there. The main guy, Jordan, he's just awesome. Today was a good day. We really learned a lot today. And I like that, man. The project manager in me kind of comes out for that kind of stuff, where it's like, it's not really related to flying all that much, it's like planning and it's like troubleshooting and thinking outside the box with stuff. So really, really cool. That's what I did today. What'd you do? Lewis, Tamava, FizzPV rather, Yukon FPV, Mr. Clean, Doubles, Craig, Capital C, Danzilla the Terrible, BMF Spade, Andrew Taylor, P Money, Frank Nicholas, Kevin Sumner, Danzilla the Terrible, I can't drink and talk at the same time, Islander, Dave S, Danzilla, YouTube did the, Adam Weston, what's up, friends? The Bruce, I think I got most of you. Woo! Big day. Big day. Big house. Jesus. Big house. If you want to talk direct, hey, this is going to be a shorter live stream for the record. I don't know how short, but this ain't going to be a 2-hour live stream. I'm just annihilated. If you want to talk directly to me, type CiottiFPV. Craig says, is your fee a percentage of the house value? Boy, do I wish. Yeah, no, standard fee. Lewis says, I saw you talking about your frame earlier. I have a very similar build right now and would love to try what you designed. Any chance I could buy one from you and share results? Unfortunately not. Ryan Harrell was only able to cut me a couple of them that for my sort of testing. So yeah, I only have like literally 2. So yeah, I can't. But as long as it's good, hopefully I can get it cut from like CNC Madness or whatever, and then I'll put them on the Etsy store. Dave S says, "Is there a diode big enough you could use to prevent backfeeding the other battery?" Yeah, somebody has somebody has an $80 box. I forget who it is. It might be I forget who it is. It's one of the guys that has a bunch of cinematic frames. It might be Quad Standard Labs. It might be QSL. But it's $80, and I've talked to a bunch of the guys that are doing it without that are doing it with just the batteries, and they've done it through hundreds and hundreds of batteries, and it's been completely fine. So it's kind of like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna go with what works. And it'll also, like I said, it'll drain the storage voltage battery, and then it'll boost the storage voltage battery. So we do things that are way more abusive to these batteries, I think. Maybe not. Denzel the Cerebral says, "Trim your damn toenails. What are you, an ogre?" Yeah. Capital C says, "Holy socks make me crazy." Denzel the Terrible says, "Ooh, sounds like a job for a shot list." Yeah, they had a shot list, and then I had a notes pad running to stay organized. We spent like an hour and a half not flying, just walking and talking and adjusting. And so yeah, if we hadn't been that organized, I would have been screwed. So yeah, we did it the right way, and I am pretty damn sure that I got everything, which is kind of wild because there was a lot. Kevin Sumner says, "Wonder if the brick today was rebar reinforced and the other brick you flew wasn't." Yeah, maybe for $5 million. Should be literally bomb proof. You can FPV says, "Too bad you can't overshoot the resolution, so you can use the same clip for either vertical or horizontal. But I guess that won't work if they want different paths." I pushed on them a little bit to let me just fly everything with the 8x7 sensor in horizontal, but they really didn't. Depending on how this looks, they've got a lot of the same stuff in both horizontal and vertical with the 8x7 sensor. And I explained to them, like, look, if we can do this without doubling it up like that, it's going to save a ton of time. It's going to save you money, blah, blah, blah. So I'm certain that they will compare the vertical versus the horizontal. And I hope that, that there's not enough of a difference to warrant doing it both ways, because it's super annoying. I hate this style of mount. I really don't like this. I really prefer to fly with a full TPU mount to save the GoPro, and it's a lot less jello-y. Although there was no jello on this. The first thing that I did was test for jello on this. So this is the mount that I really prefer to fly. It protects the hell out of the GoPro. It's super solid. It's lightweight. It's just awesome. This is a Brain 3D mount. And so I would love to just have this mount on here all day. If I'm going to have to do vertical and horizontal, I'm basically going to have to use the silly 3-loop GoPro style setup. And this is how I can fly horizontal. And then Brain 3D was kind enough to send me. So hey, for the record, if you ask really nicely, Brain 3D will sell you his designs. He will sell you his 3D print designs, which are awesome. He is a phenomenal designer of 3D prints. And so he sent me this STL, and then I printed it out. And so this is what I used for the vertical setup. But yeah, I don't like it, man. I don't like it. I already had a situation where when I was plugging the battery in, I accidentally hit the back of the screen and changed a setting. Something that doesn't happen when you have a mount like this where the TPU is in the back, right? Luckily, I caught it and changed it back. I also had a situation where I pushed hard enough against the GoPro to lose the angle, to lose the up tilt. and luckily I saw that as well, and then put the up tilt back. You don't know what your up tilt is, right? Like that's 5-ish degrees, maybe. You know, like what's that? Is that 10? Is that 15? Right? This is 10 degrees. It just is. It's repeatable. It's always there. It's always 10 degrees. You can also slot your ND filters in here. So yeah, but what I learned for sure today is it's completely unrealistic to take this mount off and then put this mount back on, and then take this mount off and then put this mount back on, and then take this mount. I did not. I had to do that today because I use ND filters that are just the raw glass that you slide into the front of these mounts. I don't have a twist on. It's actually in the mailbox literally right now from Pyrodrone, but I did not have an ND8. I only had an ND16 twist on filter here. And so, yeah, I had to, for the exteriors, I had to put this on. I had to put this 10-degree mount on in order to run the fucking ND8 filter. It was just so much to think about, and to try to like plan it out. So like I did as much as I possibly could with it set up like this, and then change it, and then do as much as I can with this, with the ND8. And so yeah, there were a lot of things making this super complex. Thank God I had this mount because I could I could slot my ND filters into it. But yeah, man, what a day! What a day! And so like, you know, there were a couple times where I had to like really think on my feet and kind of troubleshoot real quick. And the main guy, Jordan, like later on in the day, he's like, "Hey man," like when we're eating, he's like, "Hey man, I know I've said this before, but like I really appreciate that you can think on your feet and like troubleshoot this stuff like that." He's like, "It's very obvious why you charge what you charge." It's just like, thank you, because they'd worked with I don't know who it is, but they'd worked with a local FPV pilot previously, and he's told me some insane stories about like the dude just like being on his phone and just like sitting around and just waiting for him to tell him what to do, and like not being able to troubleshoot anything. And he's shown me some of the footage, and I mean his elevation control was pretty nasty. And so it's neat, man. Like they really do appreciate me. The editor had actually mentioned that she had a really hard time doing speed ramps with the previous guy's footage, because all the bouncing up and down, when you speed ramp it becomes like this. And so she's like, "Man, your footage from the last 2 gigs is so much easier for me to work with and speed ramp up and down." I was like, cool. I love that. So yeah, crazy day. Crazy good, but crazy nonetheless. Capital C says, "How much insurance do they require for you to fly a $5 million house?" It really creeps me out, but they've assured me that I'm covered on their insurance. I keep $1 million like all the time because it's not all that expensive. Skywatch offers up to $5 million, and I make certain to ask them every single time that we work together before we work together, and it's also on my invoice if they want me to carry more insurance. I wouldn't need to carry $5 million. Like, I'm not gonna light the house on fire, or like knock the house over. You know what I mean? Like, I would, worst case, I would hit like a chandelier, right? That's worth $500,000 or something like that, and like the million would cover it. But yeah, the plan is to not hit shit. Timmons says, believe it or not, most gigs that I fly, I'm covered on their insurance. They typically do not even realize that I can provide them with insurance. When I send the invoice, they'll be like, "Oh wow, you can cover us on your own insurance," because I have like the different levels and the pricing, and like more often than not, they're like, "Oh wow, we spent the last month figuring out how to get insurance for you. Which I would kind of prefer, because I don't want to have to be the one putting the claim in, but, you know, whatever. Timon says, got to chase RC drift cars tonight, finally, and holy shit, it's an absolute blast. Made a bunch of new FPV friends, too. Very, very cool. Is it not the most challenging, most fun thing you've done in FPV? Maybe not the most, but it's certainly up there, right? Project Mockingbird's in the house. He says, just got in from flying the updated tune I'm working on for the stock newbie drone race V2. Happy end of Wednesday. Very cool, man. I found the stock tune to be pretty damn good. What are you changing? He says, worst part of tuning tonight was losing the whoop in a blackberry tangle. I'm wounded. Oh, God. That's brutal. Okay. I'm caught up on chat. Oh, hey, I forgot to mention. So, I brought this guy with me, and I tried to fly it, and it ain't having it. It's trying to fly away. I don't know if it's because from too much weight on the nose, or I went with the little GoPro adapter piece from like the weird single to the regular 3 jib jab, and so it could also be this mount flexing. Yeah, I'm not really sure what it is. Doubles FPV designed me this little fella that'll mount directly to after the live stream the other night when I was begging for somebody that knows CAD to hook a brother up. So he designed me this, but I literally hit print on this as I was walking out the door. I didn't get this printed in time. So potentially this will fix the issue, because I'll be able to get this dog bone thing out of here. Trying to get a reflection off the little dog bone thing for you. There it is. See it? So it's just an adapter. It's an adapter from the standard GoPro triple hook, whatever, to the very specific little back mount on the GoPro bones. So yeah, that was a bummer. I put this up in the air in the front yard and just started to fly away, and I had to keep rolling to the side and letting it towards the grass, and then towards the grass, and then I got it low enough and disarmed it. And then I took it back. I stood in front of it in the grass and took it back off just to see. And it did it again. I disarmed it. I was like, nope, not working. So yeah, that was a little bit weird. I got to figure that out. It could technically also be from these foam guards. I found the little foam guards in my stash after the live stream the other night to get this thing to slow down. And I've never flown it with these foam guards on it, so maybe there's something weird with these foamies aerodynamically that's happening. So that was a bit of a bummer, but it was I saved it until the last minute. It wasn't like a main thing that I was going to fly. This is what I've flown thousands and thousands of batteries through at gigs over the last like 4 years. And so this will kind of always be my main platform. The weight makes it just look so buttery smooth. And like the motors are perfectly dialed to the props, to the all-up weight. It's just, I've refined this formula for many years and for many, many hours. And so this is what I'm the most used to. Putting the bones on this is super interesting, and I am going to spend a little bit more time to try to get it figured out. But, this was built to chase the cyclist. This is the live broadcast. This is the backup live broadcast rig. It was never really meant for sort of fly-throughs, but if I can get it dialed in, it should do a pretty decent job with these little blockers on it. Good God, though, is this... I swear to God, it's twice as loud as this. It is absolutely ridiculous how much louder the 2.5-inch rig is. So yeah, the fact that it didn't work out, I was like, oh damn. So yeah, man, there's a little... Where is this play coming? There's like a little bit of slop in here. Where is that coming from? This is like really cranked down. It's not coming from here. It's almost like it's coming from the mount base. I hate this style mount. I really don't like this at all. Where's that slop coming from? What the hell? Whatever. I don't want to have to use this. Hopefully I won't be able to. I won't have to use this anymore. But we'll see. I might. Yeah. Crazy. Timon says, you've probably been asked before, but have you or would you ever go chase full-size drift cars just for shits and giggles? I have chased full-size drift cars half a dozen times. I haven't done it since chasing the RC drift cars, but I think my best work, I think my best edit ever is chasing full-size drift cars. It was the fourth, maybe fifth time that I did it. So here's me chasing T-Pain at the first time he drifted for real outside of the simulator. That's just like a quickie. Here's another one. This is, I think, from that same day, another drift edit, nighttime run cam session. GoPro session 5. Good God, was it this long ago? Oh my God, it was this long ago. This was super fun. Here it is, Drift Dreams. 4 years ago. My God. Yeah, this is. Oh nope, hit the wrong button. Nope, hit the wrong button again. Here it is. Yeah, this is this is the edit that I've put more time into. There's a link in the chat. That I think I've put more time into than any other edit. I don't know if it's my best flying or whatever, but it's yeah, it's got a special place in my heart. For those of you watching this on repeat, I'm putting the link into the description of the this live stream. So yeah, there's some. Ooh, actually, you want to see the first time I chased drift cars? It's kind of cool. I've been doing it for a long time. I'm super curious how old this is. Let's see. Jesus Christ, come on, man. Get it together. Here we go. So there were all those. That was like 4, maybe 5. Here's the first time I traced drift cars. It was in Myrtle Beach. It was back when I was living in Charleston. Oh, that's right. And I brought the acrobrat. I did some acrobating 6 years ago, yo. So yeah, drift. Oh, I'm not sharing my screen. What an asshole. Drift and collide. Have I not been sharing my screen this whole time? I sure hope not. I told you I'm tired. Yeah, drift and collide. This was the very first time I chased full-size drift cars. Links in the chat. I'm not going to put this link in the description. You got to just come to my channel and go to FPV Edits and scroll down to 6 years ago. The Acrobat Grows Drifting one is pretty cool, but it's if I remember correctly, there's a bunch of jello. But it was pretty cool. It was this Acrobat setup where I had a run cam split for the HD. Not just powered, not hooked up to a VTX, and then a regular old FPV analog camera to fly through. So yeah, chasing full-size drift cars is a joke compared to the RC cars. To be kind of honest, having to fly down in ground effect the entire time to get those really interesting like on the door shots. It's just impossible. Like it's just unreasonably difficult, and you don't have to deal with that at all. Chasing full-size drift cars. The hardest part, the hardest part about chasing full-size drift cars is getting over the nerves, because like there's something at stake. Like you don't want to hit a driver's hand and cut them all up. You don't want to hit a car head on. You don't want to crash and get run the fuck over, right? So there's a lot more nerves. That's one of the coolest things about chasing the little RC drift cars is it's just all fun. There's no nerves. There's no anxiety. It's just pure fun. It is just pure FPV. So yeah, but both are incredibly fun, and if any of you can ever get the chance to do either one, you certainly should. Just fix this. Hold on. Smack this by accident. There we go. Yep. Yep. Cool. Denzel the Terrible says, send me both your GoPro mounts STL or a link to it. I can't send the Brain 3D mount. You would have to buy it. I will see if I could mod it to hold the cam both vertical and horizontal. So this mount can be modded to do that. Brian can just take this and put it down here. But yeah, I don't want to use this. I don't want to use this triple setup. Yeah, I don't know. I really want this. This is the mount. This. You don't have to worry about jello. It's locked. It's good to go. But there's never gonna be a way to get this to be both. You know what I mean? So yeah, I just have to have a discussion. I really hope that both of these mounts are Brain 3D mounts. So I don't even have the file for this. This Brian printed for me and sent to me. Even if I were to get this file, I still wouldn't be able to send it to you. But yeah, I don't know. What I will more than likely end up doing is building a second rig, or maybe the Avada killer with 04 Pro. Maybe this is the horizontal rig. We'll see how the quality is. So there's a couple different things that might happen. Worst case scenario, I have been planning on building a Cinesplorer 2. I have it like ready to go. I just have to build it. And so the Cinesplorer 2, it gets this horizontal mount or the vertical mount or whatever, and then this gets the other, right? And what I normally do is I bring my super lightweight analog Cinesplorer as my backup, and I bring a set of analog goggles, because you can't show up at a job where they're going to give you money with just one build, right? And so I could do the same thing with that, but I've got the Cinesplorer 2 like ready to go, and this is a perfect excuse to build it. I did not. I was tempted to kind of do that with the analog Cinesplorer and just have one, just set that one up vertical or whatever. But I don't want to switch back and forth unless I have to between DJI and analog. The Cinesplorer 2 is going to be a digital rig, either on 03 or maybe even 04. Probably not 04, maybe 03. We'll see. So yeah, that is probably the best answer to this. But I really hope that there's not much of a difference between cropping the 8x7 image vertical versus the horizontal, because that would be so much easier. I would really prefer to fly the exact same rig the entire time, right? Like, yes, building the Cinesplorer 2 with the same motors, the same props, pretty much the same all-up weight, it's going to fly 99% the same, but I would much rather be exact same rig all day, you know what I'm saying? So we'll see. We'll see. I do have 2 of the Cinesplorer 2 frames, so like if that ends up being the solution that I go with, I have a funny feeling I'll pull this apart and use these electronics in the other Cinesplorer 2 frame so that they are actually identical. I mean, they won't be totally identical. The flight controller and the ESC will be different, but they don't make a goddamn bit of difference. So at that point, they will be fully identical. Before I do all that work to this, because this flies awesome, I will fly them both. I will blind test them both and fly them back to back and see if I can tell a difference. If I can't tell a difference, who knows? But yeah, there we go. Thank you for the offer, though, Denzel. I appreciate it. Project Mockingbird says, here's a fun question. If you could tell Kelvin how to design the Lite AF 75mm, what would you demand? I'm thinking 1S only. You? No, for me, 75mm rigs are 2S only. 75mm stuff on 1S, you get to pick. You either have enough runtime or you have enough power. You can't have both. On 2S, you have more than enough of both. And so, yeah, for me, 75mm is 2S only. So if he was going to design a 75mm frame, my main request would be for it to be like the Mobula 7 V3 frame and the M80 frame, both from Happy Model, where they're designed for a 2S battery. They hold it up as high as it can, so it's the center of gravity is as tight as possible, and then just durability. That being said, the Mobula 7 V3 frame is unbelievably good. You can also modify the Mobula 7 V4 frame, and it is also incredibly good. And then the new M80 frame, incredibly good. So kind of don't need it, to be completely honest. But more options are always better than less. I would certainly want them to make the 75mm frame out of the same material that they make the Lite AF and the V3 frames out of, that softer poly. The current Cockroach 75mm frames are a harder plastic that's too brittle and it cracks. So yeah, like the durability of the Lite AF and the 65 V3 would be a huge part of the equation there. Craig says, yeah, YouTube is doing a weird XP rating thing in the chat. Yeah, I can see it too. It's super annoying. Can be turned off in each user's YouTube settings. Privacy live chat. Turn off leaderboard participation. That's so silly. I wonder if I can turn it off globally. Let me see. Nope. Of course not. That's silly. That's super stupid that I can't turn that off. Whatever. It's not that obnoxious. Yes, on Monday's stream, it was way more obnoxious. It looks like they've already dialed it in a little bit. Denzel the Turbo says, it could be both. If you extend a bit upward, then you would have to change mount, just slide out the camera, rotate camera, and slide it back in. Oh, that's interesting. So, like, vertical mount, but then cut a big hole in the side here so that you can slide it in. That's an interesting idea. I don't know if there are any Cinesplore based mounts on Thingiverse. What I can tell you is that this is what the base looks like. So this is FPV Cycle's like second mounting base setup. This is the mount base for the newer generation of glide frames, the old school glide frames. The new top plates had this mounting pattern in addition to the other mounting pattern, the old school mounting pattern. This mounting pattern is also on Cinesplores. This is also the mounting pattern for the Cineglide. And I think that's it. And so, oh boy. I'm not gonna have trouble sleeping tonight. That's for fucking sure. And so yeah, I'll poke around on Thingiverse to see if they have any of this style mount base here. That's a really cool idea. Bad says, greetings from the UK. What's up, brother? Denzel the Turbo says, I have a Cinesplore I made my own GoPro mount for. I can make any mounting pattern you want. Oh, hell yeah. Okay. Sweet. I'm too brain dead at the moment to fully dive into that. But tomorrow, I gotta get through this footage and stabilize it all. And so I'll be here at the computer, so I'll be around. Let's fly a couple batteries and I'm gonna fucking sleep, bro. This is insane. Oh boy. Alright. Here we go. Trying that double crazy power loop thing. Here we go. Alright. Alright, I need that. I need this. Let's see if we can pull it off tonight. Is tonight the night? What am I flying? Let's fly the... I didn't fly this yesterday. Let's fly the Beta FPV Air 65 converted to CiottiFPV setup. CO3 camera, so the so it'll look awesome. I need a transmitter. Get out of there. All right. Oh boy. I'm going to do these little 260 mAh batteries first to give myself all the advantages I can. I also realized earlier today how much heavier the newer GoPros are versus the Hero 8. I was thinking about selling my Hero 8, but it's like over 30 grams lighter. This is like 118 grams, I think it was. And then my Hero 12 is like almost like 150. It might be more than 150. I can't believe the difference in weight. So I think I'm gonna keep the Hero 8. It feels weird doing that because I haven't used it in a while, but that weight difference that's a bit much. So we'll see. I don't know. The Bones is here. But, like, the Bones is all weird, man. You gotta, like, look at how many times it flashes and, like, hook it up to your phone and, like, I don't know. It's a bit much. Oh, shit. Goggles, turn on. Son of a bitch. Oh, there we go. I was gonna say they must have turned on in my bag and now they're dead. Nah, we good. Air 65 on Meteor 65 Pro frame with Gemfan 35mm S propellers. Going for the giant double power loop jam. What's going on with these goggles? You gonna turn on? I think I might have turned them off. Why is the left lens so fuzzy? Whatever. Am I Stevie wondering? Oh my god, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? Stop it! Stop it! What are you doing that for, you idiot? Stop it! Stop it! Alright, I guess I'm not flying this. You jerk. What the hell's that about? Hold on, let me see something. Let me see if it's antenna related. Wow, so that's antenna related. That's the antenna vibrating around. I'm gonna put the antenna back the way that it was. The antenna is back exactly the way it was a minute ago. Alright. So I'm just trying to get this for now. I'm not trying to do the double yet. What the hell was that? Oh, let me guess. The goddamn camera has rotated in the mount, hasn't it? I think I'm just used to flying Cinewhoops. This feels really weird. This thing might not have enough power. Alright. Here we go. So we're going through here. Woo! I don't think this thing has enough power. So this is just the full move is the mega power loop into Teddy's nose. Oh, there it goes again. Okay, great. What is wrong with this thing? Every single beta FPV build that I have is a pain in the ass in one way or the other. I'm over it. Yeah, this thing is just a nightmare. I thought it was the antenna, but I don't think so. Hold on. I tucked the antenna in. Let's see if it's any better. Nope. It's still kind of doing it. Yeah, no, it's still doing it. This seems like like the gyro's failing or something like that. This is very like weird, very intermittent, very weird. Boy, oh boy. This is the Air 65 with the VTX built in. The, what do they call it? 5-in-1, I think. Well, let me make sure it's not like a bent motor or prop. Hold on. Oh boy. We're gonna flip it into turtle mode. We're gonna arm it. I'm gonna hold it. I'm gonna spin up each motor. Motor 1's totally fine. Motor 2 is fine. 3 is fine. 4 is fine. They're actually like really smooth. All 4 motors feel great. Let's just see though. Yeah, see now it's totally fine. Yeah, this gyro's dying. So, Teddy, are you kidding me? Can you not hit these goddamn gates every single time you come down here, you little rat bastard? Alright. So yeah, the full thing that I'm trying to go for is mega power loop into here. Oh my god, I almost just did it. Ah! It almost kind of helps me to do the mega power loop first. Maybe that's the trick. Ah! Ah! Boy, is it crowded over here in the corner. It is crowded. I have to... Man, so I'm hitting the cymbals now, huh? So I'm hurling it through here. Fuck you. I'm hurling it through here. I shouldn't be hitting those cymbals. I must be pulling it to the right a little bit. It should go straight through here. And then down into there. Oh! Yo, that is sick looking. There it is! Oh! Alright, so it's absolutely doable. Totally doable. A little difficult, but... I gotta really make sure I get enough elevation. That's been the problem so far, is I'm not getting enough, elevation. Fuck! To get more elevation, I have to fly farther through it. Oh, so goddamn close! Oh, there it goes again. At the no, this AIO is junk. Beta FPV, man, what are you doing? Get it together with the AIOs. Jesus, either they go full rainbow when you crash, or like this is weird. I mean, this. If this is the gyro going, there's not a whole lot Beta FPV can do about that. They don't make the gyros, but still, like, boy. And this isn't just me, man. Like, I hear from a lot of people that they're not having good luck with Beta FPV stuff. From a durability standpoint. Denzel the Shovel says, "Don't you be mean to Teddy." Look, I have to deal with this little ass. I can be as mean to him as I want. That is the only good thing about having to deal with that little monster's bullshit all the time. Let me fix this gate. Because it's looking like I might be able to do this. Most tired I've ever been. Trying the hardest thing that I've ever tried. And I might actually be able to hit it. Let's get it. Come on. Tuck this antenna in. Alright, let's see. Can I do it? Well, you know, I'm going to try the whole thing. Fuck it. Because if I'm going to get it... Oh boy. I take that back. I take that back. Because I still can't do the mega power loop consistently. Yeah, see, so that... I didn't throw it back far enough on that one. Oh, I nipped the fucking hi-hat. Holy. Ah, see, I told you, I can't do the mega power loop reliably. Consistently, rather. Come on, baby. All the way through. Ah. Through farther. Oh! Look what's happened to the video, too. Fuck's going on here? Okay. Yeah, look at the video's going all fucking crazy. I mean, that's the biggest problem with these Beta FPV AIOs. The VTXs are just yuck yuck. Nope. I gotta really throw, like, just fire it backwards. Get fucked. Come on. Get fucked is one of my favorites. I don't say it nearly enough. Nope. When somebody whips out get fucked and I'm around, that person, I'm immediately like, yeah, so the camera is rotated in the fucking mount. God damn it. Oh yeah, look how not even that main beam is. You son of a bitch. Whatever. Stupid banana hammock mount. Oh, let's try it. Yeah, that's why I keep sliding to my left. That's probably also why I'm hitting the drum set. Alright, I'm not gonna fly this anymore. It doesn't really have the power, and having a camera that's sideways is gonna make this goddamn impossible. And there's just... Getting the camera level in the Beta FPV mount is like trying to piss your name in water. Alright. Batteries on. I got 3 batteries left. I think I'm gonna fly all 3. Well, we'll stay on the Beta FPV train. This is the Champion Edition. This is the Beta FPV Champion Edition 65. Shout out to Beta FPV now that I've trashed their products for sending me a bunch of these to beat the living shit out of. You know, by being hard on them, I want them to improve their product. You know, I know it's possible to make these things durable. Happy Model does it, right? All right, here we go. Champion Edition. Going from 1.4 inch to 1.2 inch. I almost Stevie Wondered it. Oh my god, what a difference. Hey. Alright. Let's see here. Come on, really? What's going on? Why am I sliding to the left so much? Why am I constantly having to pull myself back to the right? This also has a banana hammock mount, so the camera might be No, there's... What's... What weird wind is happening? Oh. I'm flying next to this thing. And the thrust... Yep, look at that. It's because this box. That's ridiculous. But it feels like... No, it's still doing it out here. Why is it doing it out here? Is it because I'm flying next to the drum set? Son of a bitch. It's because I'm flying next to the drum set, isn't it? Yo, okay, this has way more power. If you switch rigs and all of a sudden you're just bashing into the ceiling like that, that's a surefire sign that one has more power than the other. Oh, boy. I kind of want to stay with Beta FPV rigs so that I had the same up tilt. Jesus. Stop. Come on, baby. Let's get this. So this is on tri-blades. I can kind of tell that they're not wanting to cover as much ground. Why is it sliding to the left so much? What the hell? I'm constantly having to push it back right. Oh, that was fucking close. Is this vent? I wouldn't think that it's that vent. Nope. Oh, that was so close. If the battery wasn't low, that would have been it. I think. One more battery. Man, everything flies awful all of a sudden. What's happening? Nope, I got two more. Two more. We got this. I can hit this within the next 2 batteries. Tough love, yeah. Beta FPV, tough love, yeah. All right, come on. Ooh, I'm having to make a huge correction up here because I'm getting pushed to the left. So look at that. Why is that happening? I'm having to... Can you guys see that? What is going on? Why... I made it through that time, but I'm lining up the gate dead center. Why is it doing that? All right, so to adjust for that, I'm going to aim at the right side of the gate. But then that's going to make... That's going to screw everything. That's going to... shit, I don't know. Oh! Oh no! Oh, god damn you! So close! Come on. Oh, you son of a bitch, you. I'm trying to cheat it a little bit. I'm like chopping the throttle here. Oh, that was it. I didn't have enough elevation to spot the landing and like get ready for it. Man, I am cooking when I get back to that wall. Nope, not enough. Oh, I'm getting better. That's for sure. It's getting dialed in. No, that could have been it. I rotated it around. I was ready. But again, 2 batteries in a row. Low battery warning came on and I just didn't have enough jam. Last try. Last try. Will it happen? Project Mockingbird says, meanwhile, my OG original Mighty 622.4 is still going strong. Yeah, dude, they're like indestructible. The motors sound like trash, but that's the quality leaking out. All right, man. Last shot at it tonight. Otherwise, you're going to have to wait until Friday. When I'll be well rested and excited, and so it's all good. All right. Oh, I know what's going on. I know why we're not getting it. Hold on. I know what's up. I don't have any fucking theme music. This is it. This is it. Here we go. Uh-huh. Oh! Oh, Teddy, Jesus! Oh, fuck! God damn you. Oh. Oh, so close, so close. Oh, buddy. Ah! Oh! Teddy, get the hell out of there. Damn it. How is this possible? What? Unbelievable. Never in a million years could I get it caught perfectly between the drum stool and the floor tom. Come on, the song's running out, goddammit! Fuck you! Nah, nope. I could already tell. Nope, and the battery's too low. Farts! Have to wait till Friday. Oh, that was close, though. Come on. Oh my god, dude! What? This is tough. Oh, it's like exactly too far away. Nope. It's a really difficult balance of throwing it up high enough that it like scrapes the ceiling. Yeah, see, like, yeah, but also like you have to generate a ton of backwards momentum, boy. One more. Nope. And man, it makes the mega... Oh, for fuck's sake. It makes the mega power loop seem easy. Because the mega power loop, I've got so much more room. Because I'm not trying to go through the cube on the floor, then through the hanging circles, then into another cube. Wow, that's really hard. That's super hard. Shit, man. But fuck, if I can do that, if I can do the mega power loop and then straight into that, that's I'm gonna have to name that. That's gonna be my move. Because like you could find, I mean, all you really need to do that out in the wild is like horizontal, horizontal, horizontal. You know what I mean? And so you come down here under this horizontal, you power loop that back to the middle horizontal, and then you power loop that back to the other one. That doesn't have a name. That's not like a thing that I've ever... And you know what's really funny? I forget when it was. There was... I think it was at a Rampage, but there was a point where a bunch of people were watching me fly, and I've done it. If I come up short, if I do a power loop and I realize when I'm inverted that I came up too short. So if I do a power loop, realize I came up too short, for a long time, I've been just continuing the rotation, and then you hammer the throttle again here, and then you complete it, which is awful similar to kind of this. So, and I did that at one point, and a bunch of people that were watching it were like, oh, like, I've never seen that before. Holy shit, that's really cool. And so it kind of already is sort of maybe my move. So there we go. Got to come up with a clever name for it, though. It can't just be the Ciotti loop like the power loops that go around the hanging gates. Oh, shit. We get caught up on chat, and then we're shutting this mother down. Oh, my God. I think I'm good. Bad says, listening on headphones while working and hearing CiottiFPV making those noises of the music with no context is interesting. Cold Power says, you can see the mega loop. You can do the mega loop, but if you pitch back far enough to see the ceiling gate, you can't carry enough momentum to hit the cube gate by the back wall. I'm too tired to understand that. I can't work that out, what you're saying. Pitch back far enough. Yeah, I'm not sure what that means. Cold Power says, we're going to need a bigger quad. Nah, these will do it. These will do it. I just have to fly it right. These will for sure do it. I just have to... Basically, what I have to do is min-max this. Which is what I tell you guys all the time. Like, that is the way to do power loops and Matty flips inside the house. You have to min-max it. You have to be super low to the ground, and then you have to throw it all the way up and scrape the ceiling, and you have to let it drop all the way back down. That's exactly what I have to do. I have to kind of min-max going through those, the hanging gates. The hanging gates are the problem because they're directly above that cube. So I have to go far enough through the cube so that I can then generate enough rearward momentum to go up. And, oh, you know what? And I just realized what I've been doing wrong. I figured it out at the end of the last stream. I need to be earlier on the throttle. What I'm doing now is I'm coming in super low. I'm coming in super low, and I'm going too far through the cube gate, and then I'm wait, big blast the throttle to try to get it to go like that through the double and then across the room. I remember this from Monday. I need to come down here. I need to be more aggressive like this, and then hammer it here rather than like hammering it down here and trying to do it like that. The mega power loop, I'm doing this like I do the mega power loop because there's just that one gate. So the mega power loop, I have to stay low, hit that gate, all the way up like that. But this is different because the hanging gate is there. Yeah, so I just need to remember that for Friday. Somebody remind me of that when I'm getting pissed off doing this on Friday. Project Mockingbird says the tiny whoop. And Project Mockingbird with the last comment of the live stream, he says more camera angle like Matty does. Yeah, more camera angle always helps with Matty flips and power loops, but I don't think it looks as good, and it makes like all the rest of the flying that you're doing kind of look like shit. And so yeah, the mega camera angle for freestyle thing, like it's a crutch as far as I'm concerned. This already does have a good amount of up tilt. This is like at least 25 degrees. Next time, I don't think I'm using beta FPV rigs. I think I'm going to do happy model builds with less camera angle because I'm more used to less camera angle. Cole Powers is actually the one with the last comment of the live stream. He says, if you pitch back far enough to see the ceiling gate as you pass through it, your angle is too steep, and you aren't maintaining lift. You start falling too soon. So I'm already well off the throttle by then. But by the time I'm inverted, looking backwards, I've been zeroed on the throttle for like a quarter of a second. The throttle comes in one big burst, and then I'm right off of it. So yeah, by the time you see me invert, like when you're looking at only the ceiling, that's when I'm full throttle. By the time I pitch back and you can actually see the gate, I'm off of it because I'm like this. I can't be on the throttle by that point. So basically what I need to do is just be more aggressive to come up like this and then whop. So it's more of a, it actually will look like more of a loop. The normal power loops that I do don't look like a loop. They look in line of sight. They look more like a weird oval kind of ellipse thing. But doing it that way looks cooler because you stay low, stay low, stay low, hammer it, and then you snap back all the way here. So you get this whole big arc where you're inverted, the camera's inverted, and you get to see yourself come up real close to the ceiling, sometimes go through a gate, and then come back down a bunch, and then you snap out of it. What I need to do here is not that. I need to do like this, and then like that, and then the end can be sort of normal. But yeah, that's tricky, man. Through a cube, through the hanging, and then all the way across. That's awesome. I can't wait to keep trying this. Tim S says the Ciotti cycler. All right, friends. I'll see you guys on Friday at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. CiottiFPV.com. Support me. Join my Patreon. I'll keep doing stuff like this. We can hang out together forever. You also get full access to the Discord. And you get to support somebody doing something cool and, you know, making content for lots of people to learn and get together and form a community. Love you guys. Be good. Here's the safe Blue Hour battery that I said I was going to show you guys. Nope, this is when the GoPro just decided to not record. This is also when the GoPro decided not to record. This is also when the GoPro decided not to record. This is the one. So this is filmed vertically. They want vertical more than horizontal. So this is the safe one that we did vertically. Here you go, friends. Here's the oneer. See you Friday.